Season 5, Episode 33 of Brackets, Bubbles, and Bid Stealers. I am Sam Fetterman. Jonathan Lidskin. Let's not even get into that. Cole Adams is here with me. Cole, welcome back to the show. And how are you doing tonight?
Sam, doing good. Glad college basketball's back.
Maction? It's Maction night.
Midweek Maction in college football. Currently watching that.
The most important college football games of the season. We are following, nearly an alley-oop for San Francisco. We are following San Francisco against Cal Poly. It is a 20-4 run for San Francisco right now. 17-4 run for San Francisco right now. As we go to the under 8, 30-21. It's Mike DeGeorge's first game as the head coach at Cal Poly. We are following a whole bunch of games as well. Cole, what caught your eye last night that we didn't talk about on the pod with Jonathan?
Well, that's a good question. I'm sure you guys weren't able to cover the Baylor-Gonzaga game. Let's just talk about Gonzaga and just the whooping they gave Baylor. I mean, my God.
Yeah, I wrote about this in Rise and Shine this morning. Every single morning, by the way. Every morning of the college basketball season, either Jonathan or me will have a quick recap / preview of everything you need to know from college basketball. Obviously, last night there was way too much that you need to know, so we didn't really get to everything, but Jonathan's covering it tonight. He'll get to everything you need to know. I'm sure he'll probably talk about Gabriel Posado. We'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, I wrote about in Rise and Shine just how good Gonzaga was last night. And they just controlled every aspect of that game, really from the first minute. They had all the energy. Baylor looked awful on the defensive end.
Yeah, it looked like an opposite of the 21 national championship game because Gonzaga just controlled the entire game basically, and Baylor really didn't know how to respond at all. And a lot of the stuff that Baylor was running, I mean, they just had no fluidity in their offense, and they just couldn't get anything going. There was no sort of flow within what they were trying to do, which was weird. It's weird to see because I'm just so used to, Scott Drew's offense being fluid past couple of seasons, especially. And yeah, they were shell-shocked to say the least. And that was really an over from the beginning. It was a very impressive performance from Gonzaga. And it's just funny because, this is obviously not the most talented team Mark Few has ever had based on like the past couple of years. But man, they definitely from the jump have played as well of basketball, like as a team, they played as well as I've seen since the 21 team.
Like, and they have 8 guys now. And I'm sure Emmanuel Innocente might be a piece in WCC play, but they have 8 guys. Last year they had like 6. And Ryan Nembhard played 33 minutes. Last year he was playing like 37 minutes. Caleb Battle comes in, hits 4 threes. Nolan Hickman, 17 points. He led the way. Ben Gregg, Braden Huff, you get good minutes from them. 32 combined minutes and 23 points from those two. Obviously, Huff is still going to leave a lot to be desired on the defensive end, but when he's giving you 14 points in 16 minutes against a really good team, obviously Baylor's defense is problematic. You can play him. Michael Ajayi comes off the bench in this game. I thought Michael Ajayi was maybe going to be this team's best player. He's still kind of working it out, and he looked really good. I'm a little bit concerned. I'm more than a little bit concerned about Baylor.
Well, you didn't even mention Dusty yet.
Dusty. Oh yeah, and Dusty came off the bench, played 21 minutes, hit 3 threes. They hit 13 threes as a team. When you're plus 30 from 3, you're gonna win most of the time. Norchad didn't look good. He looked sluggish on the defensive end. Maybe that's just because he needed to do so much.
Yeah.
But like Josh Ojonwuna is a fine center. He is not a good enough center to start for a tournament team if they're not like absurdly talented on offense. And granted, they are. Baylor will make the tournament. They are absurdly talented on offense. Nunn, Roach, Omier, VJ Edgecombe. We know what Jalen Celestine can do from beyond the arc. Robert Wright is really good. Rob Wright had a terrific game, by the way. He is awesome.
Did you see the dunk on Mark Few's son, the VJ?
Of course I saw that.
Yeah.
VJ is a freak athlete.
Annihilation.
He has a lot of work to do, though. VJ, 2 for 11 from the field, 3 turnovers. He only scored
Really
4 points. Like,
he's lucky he had the dunk.
No, yeah. VJ has a terrific first step. He does not have any counters in his game at the moment. His game is, I'm going to beat you because I'm faster than you. And that's good because he is faster than you. He is stronger, maybe not stronger, more explosive than you. His first step is faster than yours. But when he does get pushed back, and if he's not hitting outside shots at least a little bit, he's going to get sagged off and get pushed back way more. When he does get pushed back, he doesn't have the counters right now. He doesn't have that turnaround 18-foot jump shot or that crossover into a different speed. He doesn't change speeds all that well when he's going. And that's my concern with VJ Edgecombe right now. I think he's awesome. I think he's going to be a stud for Baylor all year. He's going to average like 13 a game. He's going to have some games where he drops like 27 or 30. But I'm not sure how good he is. I think he's really good. I don't know if he's a superstar. And I think a lot of people were putting him on that superstar mantle because they saw the dunks. They saw the highlights. And I think he can be that. In the NBA, when he gets NBA coaching staff with his game, I think it'll look really, really good. Right now, he's not there yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to
and he's really good right now, too.
Yeah, he's extremely talented, but he's super raw. And again, that was kind of the problem they ran into with their offense was, like I said, they were not able to get any sort of flow within what they were trying to do, especially in the half court. There was the ball just kept getting stuck, and they were only able to score 63 points compared to Gonzaga's 101. It was really just a complete blitzing. That was one where I was a little thankful that it was the score that it was. Go to bed a little bit early and not have to stay awake too late for that one. I don't, again, understand what ESPN was doing with that tip time, but it is what it is. As a college basketball fan, we just work with what they give us. And yeah, that was an interesting game. Sam, I don't know if you were able to mention anything else from last. I wasn't watching last night, so I don't know what you exactly would want to talk about potentially from yesterday.
I know you want to talk about
interesting. The Big East had a lot of interesting games, especially in the first half. Some very close results, like Villanova. That was pretty close for a while. DePaul almost lost. Obviously, Shaheen Holloway. I don't know if you saw, but he apparently broke his hand.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
that was a MAC game.
Yeah, in a game against St. Peter's, you're from the MAC. So that was like a really close game. That was really close. I mean, that was the one that really came down to the end. Fanta was on the call for that one. And even from yesterday, the field of 68 games were pretty good, actually. I feel like all of them were pretty good, if I'm remembering correctly. And actually, I don't know if you saw this, but
we talked field of 68.
Okay, did you mention the games that were in Xenia, Ohio? It's called
the
you probably don't know a whole lot about
Liberty
this.
game. No,
they were the Gray Media games, and
you can talk about that.
I'll talk about it because I live close to Xenia, Ohio, and they played at this campus called Athletes in Action, and they built a new basketball arena there. I was completely floored these games were even happening. I didn't even know, which is embarrassing on my end because I don't live far from there. And Florida Atlantic played, which they just completely dominated against I'm blanking on who they played, but
Indiana State. Jonathan said a couple nights ago that sounds like it should be the 4th game in the Field of 68 Invitational.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
was
Indiana State's going to have a rough year. Jonathan picked them 11th, I think, in his Valley preview. Matt Graves was not a very successful coach last time around. Is it South Alabama?
yeah, that sounds right.
And they lost a lot. I think Jaden Daughtry is going to be an interesting piece for them. Aaron Gray as well. But FAU is really good. Like, they are straight up a team that can win 20 games this year, and they took care of business.
Yeah, that wasn't even close. But it's just funny that they were playing in Xenia, Ohio, because Xenia's it's like outside of Dayton, for example, and it's like a kind of a little bit of a country town in some aspects. So it's just so random that they played there. But
I mean, that's just a huge win for FAU. Just
yeah,
get those Ken Palm numbers up right away, up 16 already in that stat. Nico Moretti was terrific. Matas Vokatitis, 7-foot freshman. Like, if you can get good minutes out of him, he's going to need to stay out of foul trouble. But they got some good minutes out of him when he was on the court. That gives you something at the 5 that we weren't sure they were going to have. And that's big.
okay. We need to talk about Duke because Khan was on
We
fire.
talked about Duke.
Okay. But I mean, still, I want to
Khan
talk
good,
about
Cooper good, Duke good, Maine not bad.
Yeah, it's exciting to see Maine. They weren't too bad, Good for Maine. Not too bad.
I mean, yeah, I'm a
Okay.
huge Chris Markwood guy. What a block at the rim. Oh, they're calling that a foul.
Well, Sam, in tonight's action,
Well, we're
Kansas.
not quite done with last night.
Oh, we're still going back to yesterday. Okay,
I
well,
mean,
what
yeah,
do you want to talk about now?
there's a whole bunch of we didn't get to talk about what else did we not get to talk about?
Houston was the first analytically final game against Jackson State.
That game was wild.
That was over from the tip.
Yeah. Talk about the Providence game.
Oh yes, that was a close game, and not only that, but the Providence fans, my goodness, they really don't get enough credit for how.
Best fan base over the last year in college basketball.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And they brought a duck, a real life duck to the game. I don't know who the guy was that brought the duck. But Providence, they're all in on their bits, and they've
So good. So good.
they're hilarious. They're actually like really funny. So like the algorithm that went by.
Oswin got the start.
Okay.
Kreese played 27 minutes, but Oswin got the start.
But I was gonna say the algorithm. You remember that going viral about a month ago? Really, the first viral fan base, in my opinion, was Providence, and like this 2020 era of like online fandom. They were the first ones that really like in college sports that kind of just created their own
Thing.
bit or group
Yeah,
basically.
and
But
then Indiana copied them.
yeah, I mean everybody copied them because they were just super quick on everything, and I mean it's a small fan base too, so it's not like as rabid as your Blue Bloods or like your premier programs like Indiana. But props to them. I don't really understand who brought the duck and what. I don't know how that got into the arena. But yeah, we'll see if the duck continues to show up at their games. Definitely could be a funny bit going forward. They're just like Mets fans, because Mets fans this year were all in on their memes, and that's kind of like Providence fans. They're all in on their memes. So props to them, because I love fan bases that are chronically online, especially theirs, and not just chronically online, but funny. A lot of fan bases are just pure stupid, but they're very self-aware, so they're good. I like them a lot.
Providence, great, love them. They almost lost that game. Like they needed.
Yeah, they
it.
did, and that's why the duck a bit was concerning, because like was the duck a curse? Because it was so close.
Jordan Jones, one of the best mid-range scorers in all of mid-major basketball. Abdul Momo had himself a really solid game. But Central really had a good defensive performance, a lot of forcing 16 turnovers. Kreese I don't know, man. 5 turnovers, 7 points. He didn't block any shots. Like, what is he doing out there? Like, he needs to realize he's who he is as a player and play like it. Can't try and be a 7-foot, 300-pound guard anymore. You're in the big leagues now. But Providence was kind of about as I would have expected offensively without Bryce Hopkins. Obviously worse considering they were doing it against an NEC team. But I thought that they're going to struggle without Bryce Hopkins, especially if Jabri Abdur-Rahim isn't consistently hitting outside shots. But Bensley Joseph, what a performance in this game. Bensley Joseph carried Providence to this victory. Only player with more than 8 points for them. He had 21. He hit 5 threes. He was everything for them.
Okay, did you mention Ohio State yesterday?
No, we
Okay, this is
mentioned
perfect
Texas.
because you guys were pretty low on Ohio State in your Big Ten video or live
We
stream.
mentioned Texas.
Texas. Well, let's talk about the Buckeyes because I feel like the Buckeyes I feel like they're a tournament team.
It was a good win for Ohio State. I didn't think that Ohio State was going to be very good. I didn't think that Jake Diebler, like I wasn't sure if Jake Diebler was really that guy or if it was just the kind of interim bounce.
Yeah, which we see a lot
like,
happen.
And look, I don't think Texas is all that great, but
Fair.
if you're
I mean,
getting
Mark didn't play.
if you're getting that type of performance from Devin Royal, and you don't really need Sean Stewart to be all that good, and if you're getting that performance from Judy Mobley, and you don't really need Michi Johnson to score a ton, hey,
Yeah, Michi Johnson only had 6 points.
Maybe you're looking at a better team than I thought. Maybe like if Royal and Mobley are like consistent scorers, consistent scoring threats, then that takes the burden off of the guys that I'm not quite as high on. I still think you're going to need more from Aaron Bradshaw if this team is going to be a tournament team. But it was very positive signs to get those types of games out of Royal and Mobley.
Yeah, I like Diebler.
I am.
I mean, the Big Ten's
Texas is not good.
Yeah, there's a lot of concerns.
Like Trey Johnson scored 29 points. He was awesome, and you still lost that game like pretty convincingly.
Yeah, the final score made it look a little bit closer than I felt like it kind of played out. But yeah, Texas. There's an interim coach that I don't know about.
Oh no, we've been talking about this on the pod for 3 years.
Yeah, Rodney just I don't know if he's the guy. I mean, it's just it is kind of a tough situation because it's like that 2023 Texas team. I feel like if Beard was on that staff, maybe they even win the national championship completely. Like it's just a very weird circumstance that happened, and I just don't. The future's not looking bright. And then Trevon Mark just can't stay healthy. I don't even know. Yeah, that's kind of what I got. Johnson looked really good though. That's positive if there is one for Texas, but it's gonna be tough winning in the SEC this year for them. I mean, I feel like the Big 12 is a harder conference, so I don't really know if the jump for basketball.
There's more. Like I don't really know. We'll have to see. Now let's get into some action from tonight.
What action?
Gabriel Pizzotto. And also Ross Hodge. Can we put some national respect on Ross Hodge? Not enough people have been doing this. But Ross Hodge is one of the best coaches, maybe not in all of college basketball, but in mid-major basketball. His team comes out today. They're up 42-17 at halftime against a pesky Evansville team that probably isn't going to be as bad as most people think. But like you go out and you lose a bunch of guys to the transfer portal. We won with Grant's players. He helped recruit those guys. Okay, now Reuben Jones is gone. Now Aaron Scott's gone. He brought in Jason Edwards too last year, who was first team all conference. Mule Sissoko. And this year, okay, what does he do? Jasper Floyd and Aiton Wright out of the transfer portal. 23 and 5 assists for Jasper Floyd in his first game. Looks awesome. Was one of my favorite players in the MAC last year at Fairfield. Guy's a defensive menace. He scores when he has to, and he scored a heck of a lot tonight. And for Wright, oh, what did he do besides score 16 on 10 shots, hit 4 threes? That guy's a microwave scorer. And we know what they can do on the defensive end. They did a really good job guarding basically everybody besides Pizzato, and Pizzato is going to be one of the best freshmen in all of college basketball. Ross Hodge.
It's that Scott Drew coaching tree.
Grant McCaslin's awesome. Ross Hodge is also awesome.
He's going to be at a Big 12 school soon.
We'll see.
We'll see. I love and Texas Tech. Quickly, that's a team that could be really good. I've seen some people even have them as a Final Four team, and I'm a big fan
they
of
had
them.
a lot of guys out tonight.
Tech did.
Yeah, Texas Tech had a lot of guys out tonight.
But still, they handled business against Bethune.
JT Toppin rocks. Cal Poly keeping it close, by the way, 37-35. USF right now with a huge block. They're going the other way now. San Francisco in transition to the corner. Couldn't get it. Offensive glass. 39-35. All right. Bethune got a lot of random late off season. Oh wow, this team has a lot of dudes. There's a reason those dudes are at Bethune.
Yeah.
Let's not try and glorify it. They're that's not a good team. Maybe they're gonna be solid in the SWAC, but they're not a threat.
Yeah.
I don't think. Darian Williams, 17-6-6. I don't know if he's gonna be an All-American. I know somebody was talking about on this podcast. I think Isaac Trotter was saying he could take the All-America jump. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but he was legit tonight. JD Toppin's awesome. We know what Kerwin Walton can do. And this is without the guy who I think is going to be the guy who unlocks their entire offense in Elijah Hawkins. And without their backup point guard, Christian Anderson. They didn't have a point guard tonight, and they had 15 assists. It's pretty cool.
And BYU played tonight too, and they look like they're picking right up where they left off. They're currently up.
Look, Igor Demon rules. 18 points, 11 assists, 3 steals, 4 rebounds. That guy, they paid a lot of money for him. So he better be this good. He better be this good. And he looks the part right now. I know it's Central Arkansas. I know that they're not going to be good. Wait, that's not. Okay, I don't think it is. Central Arkansas is going to struggle with a team like BYU. Oh, Mikhailo Boscovich played. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, this is a BYU team without Dylan Hall tonight and 20 assists on 31 field goals. Cannon Catchings, awesome. 17 points in his first game. I like this BYU team. I think if Kevin Young is a legitimately good coach, which I think there's a really good chance he is, given everything that every NBA guy has ever said about him.
Exactly.
BYU is going to be more than just a tournament team. They have the talent to be a threat in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, quite a time to be a BYU fan for both football and basketball. Because
what's football?
Well, football was
what is football? I've never heard of that sport.
Oh yeah, it's just something they play sometimes on Saturday and Sunday. No big deal.
And sometimes on Tuesdays, and sometimes in Tuesdays in Ohio and Michigan.
Yeah, and currently you're making me miss Maction to talk to you about Bethune-Cookman in Central Arkansas, but that's okay. I did not mind at all filling in tonight for Jonathan. No problem.
We don't really have that much to go on tonight. We'll talk about some games that are happening tomorrow night, and we don't know when the next show is going to be.
Okay.
But tomorrow night, UConn opens its season. Liam McNeely is probably going to play, from what we've heard. What are you most looking forward to seeing from UConn?
Well, to be honest, just to see, I am very interested to see how Aiden Haney plays because I want to see if he's really got the dog in him, because to play for UConn, you kind
Oh,
of
did
gotta.
you not watch the exhibition?
I did not. You were there, right? I think you were there, weren't you?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, you weren't there. Okay, but was he kind of
He had the
getting after it?
he had that dog in him.
He had that dog in him. Okay, see, this is good. That's a really good sign. 'Cause, that was kinda like my main concern with Aiden was, like, is he gonna come in there and, have some shit to him? And, I think that if he does, which you just said he did, probably a good sign for UConn. But, yeah, we'll just see if they're gonna be able to continue their run of success. I mean, really, with UConn, it's not like you have to really be optimistic, like, they should just be what they have been the past 2 years and continue to be that, and Danny is just a psycho, so, wouldn't expect anything different. What I am excited for tomorrow is Rutgers plays, and I'm very excited to see Ace and Dylan. Um, Watching Ace in um, their exhibition game they played, so much fun to watch. Really
I
an
want to see
exciting.
him get paint touches. That's the thing. He didn't get paint touches in that game. I want to see him get paint touches.
Okay. But he's able to create, which is
Without it,
so.
yeah, he
Yeah,
doesn't need paint touches to be a ridiculously good college basketball scorer. That's the scariest thing about his game.
yeah.
Another game I'm looking forward to, two games actually, Vermont, Auburn, and Lipscomb, Arkansas. Those are both 15-point spreads, and I'm expecting the home teams to win
Mhm.
their first games of the season. But those are some pesky good mid-majors, especially Vermont just beat UAB. Lipscomb just went to Duquesne and won. Jacob Ognisevich is going to be one of the best players on the floor in that game against Arkansas.
Yeah, those could be
Um,
get interesting too, Sam, because both those teams are warm, where they're going
yeah,
up against
they
2
play.
cold teams. So,
Boise State also opens its season. A bunch of Mountain West teams open their season. Boise State against Oakland, Utah State against Alcorn State. Both those games are probably going to be blowouts. And then San Diego State against Stateville, UC San Diego.
here's one, Sam. What about Georgetown? They open tomorrow.
Georgetown against Lehigh to open up their season. And Virginia against Campbell. Notre Dame opens its season as well. High
Oh, Virginia.
Point's first game.
Okay. Virginia
Uh,
without Tony Bennett. That'll be interesting. We'll see if they're still running the same style of
they will.
offense.
They will.
They will, more than likely. That's probably what
All
they've
right.
been practicing the past couple of weeks anyway.
All right, Cole, you want to take us home?
To Maction, because we still
No.
got.
Like, end the show.
I guess.
Do you know how?
Thanks.
Do you know the outro?
I don't know the outro. You're
Oh,
putting me on
come
the spot.
on.
He's
Come
putting me on.
on. If you came to hear about if you came to hear about Tyler Self and where he's working, you came to the right place. If you came to hear about Cal Poly against San Francisco, you came to the right place. And if you came to hear about the latest happenings with Caleb Grill, you came to the right place. This is
That one I
season
know.
5, episode 33 of Brackets, Bubbles, and Bid Stealers. Cole Adams joined us tonight because Jonathan Lidskin is out of commission. We will see
So
you next
lame.
time. It could be Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday or Sunday. Who knows? Enjoy the hoops.